Hello everyone. So today we're going to start our new unit on inequalities. You've definitely seen inequalities before, so don't get worried about it. This is when you have the greater than or less than signs. So inequalities are a way of describing a greater than or less than value. To solve inequalities, treat the problem as if it were a normal equation. Remember to flip this symbol if multiplying or dividing by a negative. This is only when you multiply or divide. Don't worry about adding or subtracting. So this symbol right here is less than. I remember because this almost looks like an L. Is it open or closed circle? This is an open circle because it doesn't have the equal to. Do we shade left or right? Since it's less than, we shade left. This one is a greater than. And it is also open because there's no equal to portion, and we're going to shade to the right. You shade to the way this is pointing. So this is pointing to the right. This is pointing to the left. This is a less than or equal to. And this is going to be a closed circle. And do we shade right or left? This is left because it's less than. And this is a greater than or equal to. And it is also a closed circle because it has that equal to portion, meaning that that point is included. Shade to the left or right, we're shading to the right. So an open circle means point not included. A closed circle means point is included. And that's the big difference between these. Okay, so let's first solve. So we're going to solve 9 minus 4t is greater than 21. So first we're going to subtract 9 on both sides, and we get negative 4t is greater than 21 minus 9 is 12. Now we're going to divide by a negative 4. Now here's the big thing. We divided by a negative, so this flip side. So it was greater than, now it's less than. 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. So t is less than negative 3. So here's negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. It's less than, so it's an open circle because there's no equal to, and we're going this way. Now some people will do a line up like this and draw it like this. You can draw it however you want, but know that this is negative 3 and it's everything less than. So let's think of a number that's less than negative 3. Like negative 5. Negative 5 is less than negative 3. Let's plug that in to make sure it works. 9 minus 4 times negative 5 is greater than 21. 9. Negative 4 times negative 5 is a positive 20. 9 plus 20 is 29. Is 29 greater than 21? It is. So now I want you to pause the video and you try the next two yourselves. You're doing the exact same thing. Okay, hopefully you pause the video. We're going to try this. So we're adding 7 on both sides. We get negative 6a is less than or equal to 24. We're going to divide by negative 6. Since we're dividing by a negative, the sign switches, and you get a is greater than or equal to negative 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's greater than or equal to, so it goes to the right, and it's it's a equal to, so this is going to be a closed circle. Since we have that equal to portion, it's a closed circle. Now, what's greater than negative 4? Well, 0 is greater than negative 4, so let's plug that in. Negative 6 times 0 minus 7 is less than or equal to 17, a regular 17. All right, negative 6 times 0 is 0. Minus 7 is less than or equal to 17. 0 minus 7 is negative 7 is less than or equal to 17. And negative 7 is less than or equal to 17. So we're good. All right, let's do this one. We subtract 5 from both sides, get negative 9 is less than negative 3n. Divide by negative 3. Since we divided by a negative, the sign switches. Negative 9 divided by negative 3 is a positive 3. And we have n here. So n, and if we write this with the variable on the left, which is the best way to do it, this sign is pointing to the end, so we want it to still point to the end. And we get n is less than 3. So we go to 3, 1, 2, 3. And it's less than, so it's an open circle, and it's going to the left because it's less than. Well, let's double check that this is right. What's a number less than 3? Well, 0 is. So let's plug 0 in. And I tend to use 0 because 0 is really easy to multiply. So negative 4 is less than 5 minus 3 times 0. Negative 4 is less than 5. Negative 3 times 0 is 0. So plus 0 minus 0, whatever. Or you can just cancel out. Negative 4 is less than 5. And negative 4 is less than 5. So we are okay. All right. So now we're going to have some multi-steps. We're going to dig down a little bit deeper. I know we can do this. So first we're going to distribute the 3 to the t and the 1. We get 3t plus 3 minus 4t is greater than or equal to negative 5. Let's combine like terms. We get negative t, or negative 1t, plus 3 is greater than or equal to negative 5. Subtract 3 on both sides. Negative t is greater than or equal to negative 8. Get rid of this negative in the front. We're going to divide by negative 1. Since we divided by a negative, the sign switches. And we get t is less than or equal to a positive 8. So we're going to go up to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is less than or equal to, so it's a closed circle, and it goes to the left. Now let's think of a number that's less than or equal to 8. And 0 works. Let's plug in 0 to make sure it works. And you plug it into the original equation just in case you made a mistake. And you're plugging 0 in for every t. Okay, 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Negative 4 times 0 is 0, so it cancels out. And we get 3 is greater than or equal to negative 5, which checks out. We're all good. Let's go on to B. All right, so first we need to collect all the like terms on one side. So we're going to subtract 3n on both sides. And I get 6n minus 3n, or 3n minus 1 is greater than 8. Add 1. 3n is greater than 9. Divide by 3. We're not dividing by a negative, so we get to keep the sign the way it is. N is greater than 3. So 1, 2, 3. Greater than, so it's not closed, it's open, and it goes to the right. Now let's see a number greater than 3. 5 is greater than 3, so let's plug 5 in. I always suggest double checking your work. 6 times 5 is 30. 30 minus 1 is 29. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 plus 8 is 23. 29 is greater than or equal to, just greater than, no equal to, is greater than 23, which is correct. So we're all good there. Okay, let's keep going. So sometimes you're going to have compound inequalities, a relationship of two distinct inequalities joined by the words and, or. And inequalities are two graphs that converge or come together. So their answers are going to come together, or they're going to go off in one direction. Two graphs shoot off in different directions. That's the or inequality. So for instance, for this first one, x would be greater than 3. For this one, x is less than 7. Together, x has to be between 3 and 7. For this one, x is less than negative 2. X is greater than or equal to 1. So x is either less than negative 2 or greater than or equal to 1. Either or. All right, so that's how we're going to do it. We're going to do each one separately and then combine it together. So what are the solutions of this inequality? Negative 3 is less than or equal to m minus 4. First one. Negative 3 less than or equal to m minus 4. So we're going to add 4 on both sides. And you get 1 is less than or equal to m. So if this right here is 0, 1 is less than or equal to m, so we're going to close in the dot. For the other side, we have m minus 4 is less than negative 1. We're going to I did this wrong. I apologize. It's still 1, but this is why it's very key to put the variable in the front. So we need to flip this. M, it's opening up to the M. So M is greater than or equal to 1. So it's going to the right. Now here, we're going to add 4, and M is going to be less than, this gives you 3. So if this is 0, 1, 2, 3, it's less than 3. Now if we add those together, if this is 0, this is 1, this is 3, can be equal to 1, it can't be equal to 3, it's in between those. Now something that you will see people do is they will take the whole thing, and whatever they do to the middle to change it, they're going to do to the sides. So if I add 4 here, I'm adding 4 here, I'm adding 4 here. Negative 3 plus 4 is 1. Negative 1 plus 4 is 3. So M is in between 1 and 3 and can be equal to 1, but not 3. And so you can do it that way too. It's up to you. So that being said, we can split off this one, and we would have negative 3 is less than 2x plus 1 over 5. To get rid of that 5, we're going to multiply by 5, and we get negative 15 is less than 2x plus 1, subtract 1. Negative 16 is less than 2x, divide by 2. And negative 8 is less than x. When we flip this all around, we get x is greater than negative 8. So let's say this is negative 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is 0 here. So negative 8, that means this is going to be 0 here, and this is going to be 0 here. X is going to be greater than, not equal to, negative 8. Now for the second part, we have 2x plus 1 over 5 is less than or equal to negative 1. Multiply both sides by 5, and we get 2x plus 1 is less than or equal to negative 5. Subtract 1, subtract 1. 2x is less than or equal to negative 6. Divide by 2, and x is less than or equal to negative 3. So 1, 2, 3, less than or equal to negative 3. And if we are doing the intersection of these, it's not equal to 8, but it is equal to 3, and it's the in-between part, the compound and. Now likewise, like I did the last one, I could change the whole thing at once. So if I'm going to multiply the middle by 5, I can multiply each of the sides by 5 and get negative 15 is less than 2x plus 1 is less than or equal to negative 5. Then I could subtract 1. Negative 16 is less than 2x plus 1 is less than or equal to negative 6. Sorry, that was canceled out. So we just have 2x in the center. Divide by 2. And I get negative 8 is less than x is less than or equal to negative 3. So you have that as well. Or x is essentially between negative 8 and negative 3. All right. Now we can also have the 0 or the or ones. So this is where they're going to diverge or go in different directions. What are the solutions? So the first one is 3t plus 2 is less than negative 7. The second one is negative 4t plus 5 is less than 1. So this is where you get the or. You know they're going opposite ways. So first on this side we're going to subtract 2 on both sides. We get 3t is less than negative 9. Divide by 3. And t is less than negative 3. So if this is 0 right here, negative 1, 2, 3, open circle, and it's less than that. For this one here, we're going to subtract 5 on both sides. Negative 4t is less than negative 4. Tell Dodo it's all okay. So, you're okay. And then we're going to divide by negative 4. And we get t. We're going to flip the sign. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. So here, t is greater than 1. So if this is still 0 right here, and this is 1, we're greater than that. which means as I plot both of these together, I have an open circle on 1. I have an open circle on -3, and we're going in opposite directions from each other. So essentially, t just can't be between -3 and 1. It can be any other number but between -3 and 1, including those numbers. And the last one. If you got this, please pause the video, try it yourself. So 4y plus 2 over 5 is greater than 3, or 4 minus 3y over 6 is greater than 4. So let's solve this one. We multiply both sides by 5. Because we're dividing by 5, we've got to do the opposite, which is multiply by 5. I get 4y plus t is greater than 15. Subtract 4y plus 2, subtract 2 on both sides. I totally wrote this all the way wrong. So, Mobby, take away this one, and we're going to do it on a separate sheet of paper real quick. So the problem for the first one is 4y plus 2 divided by 5 minus 5 is greater than 3. Let's do this again. So first we're going to add 5 on both sides because we have to get rid of this portion first. 4y plus 2 divided by 5 is greater than 8. Now we can multiply by 5. And we get 4y plus 2 is greater than 40. 8 times 5 is 40. I'm just double checking that I'm doing it right now. Subtract 2. 4y is greater than 38. Divide by 4. And I get y is greater than, this is 9.5. Right? And that's perfectly fine to get. If this is, we'll put 0 right here. Hopefully the other one is not too crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9.5 would be right in the center. And it is not equal to, so we are going to put a circle and go to the right. If you want to label that with 9.5, you are more than welcome to. So that's what it will look like. Okay. For the other one, and we can do that one up here because we actually started this right. We multiply both sides by 6 to get rid of the 6 in the denominator. And we get 4 minus 3y is greater than 24. Subtract 4. And we get negative 3y is greater than 20. Divide by negative 3. And we get y is greater than negative 6.7. And that is approximately. I did round that for that one. But we divided by a negative, so this is going to actually be a less than. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's 6.7. It's open then, it's less than, it's going this way. If you want to write 6.7 here, you can. So here we're going to the left with 6.7, but at 9.5, we are going to the right here. So it can be anything except numbers between negative 6.7 and a positive 9.5. Sorry, I definitely made mistakes on that one. But as you can see, you can make mistakes and it's okay. You just fix it. All right. We will continue with more inequalities tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful day.